to a sports experience like no other. You are now tuned into the No Cap Sports Show, where sports and combos collide. Authentic, unapologetic, no edits, no cap. Let the convo begin. No cap.
Welcome to the No Cap Sports Show podcast. I am your host, the Cobra.
I'm your host, Mo Money.
Man, I'm your host, Old Dog, and I'm gonna have a long show today.
I'm your other host, Fredo, aka Eddie Kane Jr.
Yo, what up, fellas?
What it do,
What's
bro?
going on?
Ain't nothing.
Man, y'all know what's up. Thank you for that. Y'all already know what's up with me, man. I'm over here trying not to commit suicide, man.
Oh,
No, it ain't that. It ain't
It's
that.
gonna be okay, bro. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be all right. Hey, we still
Dion
got room
just
out in
telephone
South
call
Bend.
away, man.
We
Hey,
got
man.
room in South Bend. You know you used to watch Channel 4 with me when we was little, eating them large pizzas from Domino's in the basement.
Hey, that's all we had was 4, 5, 7, and 9, baby. Hey, look, you be lucky to use them pliers to turn it to channel 50.
Yeah. Come on back home, cuzzo. Come on back home.
Nah, I'm good on that. I'm straight on that, bro. How was y'all weekend, man?
Not long enough.
It was all right. It was all right. I was fighting the cold, but I'm back now. I'm back on my feet. Flu
Hey,
game.
salute to you being a soldier, getting it, showing up for the show, man. That's what you do, man. That's in your blood, man. Them massive meanies, man.
Hey, who said basketball players wasn't tough?
Yeah, flu game, baby.
Yeah. Hey, them big poom, man. Them massive meanies, man. Hey, look here. Can't win with it.
Hey, no allow said it.
Can't win with it. Can't win with it.
Hey, bro, why you bring up no allowance to this man? Don't
Hey, we not gonna start off with that energy. Hey, look, this gonna be too good of a show to start off with that energy. And matter of fact, man, I'm excited to get this thing started because we got a extremely special guest on the show today. He's not just a regular guest; he's family to the No Cap Sports Show podcast. And matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna pass this baton over to Old Dog so you can introduce our guest properly. Please introduce our guest, O.
Well, all our listeners and viewers to the No Cap Sports Show podcast, tonight we have the one and only Mr. Antoine Bethea, 3-time Pro Bowler, 3-time all-you-know-what making plays, father, husband, entrepreneur, the joint, what's that word you say? Philanthropist, whatever that word is.
There you go.
Hey, and what I'm saying is all around great guy. And more importantly, my family, my little bro, been rocking with him for over 25 years. I think we met when he was 18 years old.
Wow.
And all he had was a dream. And he said, hey, man, I'm trying to get there. And I said, I'm going to do everything I can possible, bro. You know what I'm saying? What he's done on the football field has been amazing. But what he is doing off the field, what we'll start to talk a little bit about, is what I'm most proud about. And it's the one and only, I call him little bro, but to all our listeners and viewers, is Mr. Antoine Bethea.
Yo.
Yeah!
What's good?
Go.
What's good, fellas?
Oh, man, thank you for coming on, bro. Thank you for coming on. It's showtime.
Man, no question.
You already know. You already know. How was your weekend?
Man, weekend was good, man. Able to chill, relax a little bit, watch some college football.
Yes, sir.
But for me, just staying out the way, man. Slow motion.
There you go.
Sure.
There you go. You already know.
So look, AB, we're excited to get right into this interview. We got a lot of viewers and listeners are waiting to hear your story. And we always like to start off with the background, start from the beginning. So we all know what type of special athlete you became, but where did it start for you? When did that fire start lighting for you and you knew that you had something special in athletics period? And was it football first, or was it another sport?
Man, it was on that note, it was always basketball for me. It was always basketball. I was a basketball fanatic, and you couldn't tell me I wasn't going to UNC and playing there. Like that was my dream as a youngster. But having, being the youngest of two, and my oldest brother, he was, somebody I looked up to from the jump. And he played multiple sports, basketball, football, and baseball. So as a youngin', just, looking at big bro, I'm like, shit, whatever he do, I'm gonna do. So he was, high school ball in that era where it was Joe Smith, Aaron Brooks, AI, Tony Rutland, around the 7-5. So that's when it was rich. You know what I'm saying? Like it was, we had some dogs around there. So just going to the basketball games, and every basketball game is packed. You feel the energy. You go to the football games, the same thing. So it was a no-brainer for me, man, just to, started playing football, basketball, baseball at the age of 8. Like I said, love basketball. Played AAU on the Boo Williams circuit for a minute. Wow. And, I was always one of the smallest. I was always one of the smallest on the football team, basketball team, or whatever it was, man. But, it was just something about going out there and competing, just going out there competing and things of that nature. But, just growing up in the 7-5, he was always around some competitive dudes, right? So regardless of what sport you was playing or where you was at, like if you wasn't good, you was either gonna be on the bench or you wasn't gonna get picked up. So I think that just kind of helped me as I matriculated through my years. And honestly, I would say I feel like every level, you get to kind of like, start feeling yourself, right? So like obviously Pee Wee, you start off, I'm just learning the game, right? But as you start to play, like you get comfortable, you get more comfortable with yourself, right? And people get to know you. But then shit, you go to high school, right? So you starting back at the bottom again. You know what I'm saying? You get comfortable, you get familiar with your with the, I guess, the scenery or whatever. And I would say really like my sophomore, my junior years when I really was like, damn, like I could potentially do something with this. And Coach Rod, man, Coach Rod was one of my, he was my history teacher. He was my varsity defensive coordinator. He coached me JV basketball as well. But he was like one of the father figures in the school and in the hallway, right? He went to JMU, played linebacker. And I remember one day we was in the hallway just chilling. It was posted up on the wall, me and a couple of my homeboys, and we were just talking about, football, basketball, going to college. And he mentioned to me, he was like, Twan, he was like, man, I know y'all love basketball, but Twan, man, I seen your mom and dad, like, unless you got like some uncles down the line that's like 6'6". They was like, man, you not getting no taller, you know what I mean? And he was like, not to say that you can't go to college and play ball, but he was like, man, he said, I really feel like you could do something in football. He was like, man, you should really focus on that. And that's something that, like, till this day, I thank him for, because again, he was somebody I looked up to, that I respected. And that was the day where I was like, man, I'm really going to try to see what I can do with this football thing, not knowing what was going to happen. Again, I wasn't recruited highly. It was all really D3 schools, D2 schools, and a few HBCUs outside of that. And then just the story of how I got to Howard, man, was a special one.
Mm-hmm. Hey, B, let me ask you: is this Coach Rod was the same one that was coaching at Hargrave Military Academy?
Exactly.
Shout out to the OG. He was there when I was there. Yeah, he a bad motherfucker. Yeah,
look at that. Yep. See how that's crazy. See that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when it was crazy when he was at Hargrave. At that time he had like Torrey Holt.
Yeah, that was my year.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah, crazy. That's what's up. Fredo, what you got?
Hargrave told me, said, "Oh, we love you, but there's no way possible you gonna get in here with your grades. No way." They said, "Absolutely not. You need 2 years of prep school. Get out of here." Get out of here.
Crazy boy.
Hey, Antoine.
Yeah.
Who was your biggest inspiration growing up?
Man, my inspiration was all in the household, man. My mom, my dad, and big bro.
That's
You know what I
what's
mean? I didn't have to look too far. Again, like I said, big bro, just being my big brother, just wanted to do everything that he did. Pops, you know what I'm saying? Just understanding his story, going back. My mom and dad was high school sweethearts or whatever. So them growing up in a small town in South Carolina, just going back and I'm like, damn, like really, really humble beginnings. You know what I'm saying? And just understanding and just hearing him telling the stories of, what he had to sacrifice, what he had to go through, join the military, and all of that. And then just my mom, just a beautiful and genuine human being. Will give anything off her back to anybody that she loves, and then just her health struggles that she's battled through all of her life, man. So again, everybody I looked up to growing up was in my household.
Who did you model your game after?
I wouldn't, really, I wouldn't say that I modeled my game after anybody. Now, the people that I like watching was obviously like Dion, Ronnie Lott. It's crazy, but like a lot of DBs, Rod Woodson, you know what I mean? But I feel like all of those guys were like different style, like different type of players, right? Growing up, safeties was all 6'2", 220 pounds, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I would say I was 5'11", 200. So it wasn't many safeties growing up that played or my stature, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay.
Absolutely. So what small town in South Carolina, if you don't mind me asking?
Lakeview, South Carolina.
Man, I don't know what the hell that's at.
Yeah,
Lake City, Mo.
So if you probably heard of Dillon, South Carolina.
Absolutely. I know where Dillon's at. Yeah, for sure.
So the next town that's south, but you'll ride through it in a blink of an eye, you know what I mean? So again, man, one no traffic lights, you know what I'm saying? Just stop signs, one high school, one middle school, one elementary school, one laundromat, you know what I mean? So one of them. So just going back and just seeing those humble beginnings, man. I'm like, respect to my parents.
No doubt.
So we're from on the other side of Florence. That's where my people are from.
Okay.
Yeah, once you get past Florence, you get through Lake City, little town called King Street. That's where we from.
Okay, yeah, I got family, Florence, Darlington, all up and down there. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hey, shit, we might have to link up. We might have came out the same plantation. I don't know.
No question.
Hey, so
maybe some bloodline down there, Mo, for real.
Hey, you never know.
You never know.
Right.
Hey, so I heard your childhood. We heard the inspirations. So now we're gonna speed it forward. Man, it seems like you were a great athlete. HBCU. Why Howard? Why not anywhere else?
Man, I wasn't recruited, man. Again, in high school, man, I was 5'8", 145 pounds playing middle linebacker. So, when the scouts was coming in the building, I was like, I don't know, buddy gonna play middle linebacker. So the story was, again, like I was getting recruited by small schools, Randolph, Macon, small Christopher Newport, small schools, right? But Norfolk State was looking at me, and at the time, Coach Petty was the defensive coordinator at Norfolk State. Coach Petty got the head coaching job at Howard University. He came to my high school and hired my head coach, Coach A.C. Cawthorn, as the offensive coordinator. At the time, Coach Petty was like, he didn't have a whole lot of scholarships. He didn't have a whole lot of money. Just at the time when he got hired for the job was late in the spring. So he asked me if I wanted to come on a visit. Went on a visit in the springtime. Walked on that yard on a Friday afternoon. Shit, I called mom Saturday night and was like, yo, I know I am not gonna be on a full ride. I know we're gonna have to figure out some things to do. But come August, September, I need to be at Howard.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about.
Coach Petty was able to give me a little bit of bread. I wasn't on full ride my first year. He was able to give me a little bit of bread. Mom, Pops was like, look, we will do what we got to do. Coach Petty was like, look, if you handle your business in the classroom and do what you need to do on the field your freshman year, there was a lot of seniors leaving. He was like, we'll get you right. And really that's how I got it, based off relationships. And I tell, kids all the time, I'm like, Coach Cawthorn ain't really have to go out on that limb for me either. You know what I'm saying? If I was a young boy that, wasn't doing right in school or in the hallways, when he seen me every day, he wouldn't have vouched for me, but he vouched for me. And, him and Coach Petty, they had a previous stint at Howard University on the coaching staff together. So they knew each other. So again, I appreciate both of those guys to this day, just giving me an opportunity.
That's what's up.
That's a great story. Well, there's a lot of programs that lost out on a great talent.
Yeah, but I always say though, like everybody's story is different, right? So everybody not gonna go to a Power 5, because I could have went to a VTech or UVA. I could have got lost in the shuffle. You know what I'm saying? I just felt, to this day, like Howard was just a blessing for me. It was God sent for me.
Absolutely.
Sure.
I don't need to ask him no questions, y'all. You did. I talk to him every day. Y'all go see.
So AB. So now you at Howard, and you playing on the football team. When do you have that light bulb moment that, all right, I'm here, I made it to Howard, but now I think I can make it somewhere further?
I don't think that came until, well, first it was my freshman year. And when I was out there, I'm like, damn, like I can boogie with these cats. You know what I mean? Even though they were bigger, but I'm like, I can boogie. And at the time, Coach Bolton was my DB coach, and he was like, yo, you gonna play this year as a freshman. Wow. And it sounded good, but I really didn't believe it. But Coach Bolton, he played at Norfolk State. He played in the league 13, 14 years. So I respected what he was saying. He was like, man, I'm in the defensive coordinator, Coach Gilmore office all the time and telling him like, yo, like this young boy can play. We had a lot of seniors, a lot of safeties that were seniors that year. And I would say it was probably like game 7 or 8 of my freshman year. And I got some tick at against Norfolk State at Howard. And I remember it was Howard Gilmore, he from DC. He caught a pass, and I caught him on the sideline. Nice clean hit. And like that was a moment for me, was like, all right, man, this is just regular football, something you've been doing all your life. And then that year, Tracy White got picked up. I think it was by the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks.
Shout out to Tracy.
Yep.
Shout out to Tracy.
So in my eyes, I'm like, damn, it's an opportunity.
Right.
To get there, right? And now, however you get there, but it's an opportunity, right? And then my sophomore year, even the first game I wasn't starting my sophomore year. We had Brian Johnson and Vontre Long, 2 really good safeties in front of me. We had Texas Southern, B. Johnson, right before we go in the halftime, he pulls his hamstring. So they're like, yo, Bethea, you gonna start the second half. And then I ended that game with 10 tackles. So right then and there, I'm like, shit, like, and in the game, I'm like, all right, this is just flowing like, high school. And then that next game, man, we had Green Stadium playing against our rival, Hampton University. I probably had like one of the best games of my life. I had like 12 tackles, 3 fumble recoveries, a touchdown. And at that time, I was like, man, if I just stay on this trajectory, man, like I'll have a chance.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Let me ask you this, Antoine. What's your stand on NIL and the transfer portal?
Good and bad, like anything else, right? So transfer portal, I think is a little shaky because now guys is like, I wouldn't want to be a college coach right now. That's what I would say, right? Because now I really can't tell you the honest truth, because if you're a good player and I'm coaching you hard and you don't like that, you can go in the transfer portal, you can leave, right? So I don't like that. I don't like that part of the transfer portal. Like I remember the transfer portal when we was coming up is that if you had like a family emergency or if it was mutual where it just wasn't a good fit, you go in the transfer portal. But now it's like, oh, I gotta battle for playing time, or I'm out of here. You know what I mean? So I don't like that part of it. You know what I mean? As far as the NIL, Wild Wild West, do I think the athletes should get paid? Most definitely, right? I think it should be more structure. And I'm not even hating on the bread that they getting, but I think it should be more structure around the companies that's offering the money, the collectives that's giving the money, and then the university. The university should have some ownership on teaching these youngins as far as, all right, this is what you need to do with your money, tax implications, and all of that. So again, I think it's good in some of it, and then obviously you're gonna have the flip side as well.
Yeah. Okay.
And not to cut you off, big bro, but did you ever consider transferring AB?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah. Man, I'll be a fool if I would have transferred from Howard University.
Little plug.
Man, I'll be a fool if I would transfer from Howard University, man. At that time, it was early 2000s, man. We was in DC. Not to mention, Pumi and Omar had me in love, dream at 18 years old. Kate, you know what I'm saying?
Nowhere in the world you can transfer. You supposed to train.
Where am I going? You know what I'm saying? Right. But at the time, the ratio was like 15-1 on campus.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then I was a guy on the team. Like, why would I? Like, I was an established guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? In the scouts, they knew where I was at. So, like, for me, I can't say now today if somebody would threw a bag at me, but I would hope to say that I would have just the team and the coaches that trusted in me, that came and scouted me and gave me a chance, I would have stayed loyal to them.
Right, but okay, going back to that though, Antoine, in terms of NIL. So if you was getting NIL back then, how would have handled it?
I mean, I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. Like, I'm speaking as a 40-year-old man right now. You know what I'm saying? That kind of been through it, but to be an 18-year-old and getting 500,000, like I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit like, yo, I would have done this with my money or whatever. Right. I would have hoped I would have. You know what I'm saying? I would have hoped I would have had somebody or some people in my corner to be like, look, we're gonna put this away. We're gonna invest here. You can get mom and pops a little something here and there. But I just feel like what the landscape is now, and everybody knowing where the landscape is, it's a lot of sharks out there, but then it's a lot of people that can guide these youngers in the right place. But I ain't gonna sit up here and lie to you. 18 in DC, like
he just said 18 in DC. Enough said, man. Hey, Mo, he ain't giving that up for North Carolina A&T, man. Nah.
Hell no.
Not at all.
Nor should you. I will say this: talk to our listeners and our viewers, and tell them a little bit about as far as your transitioning, leaving, being recruited by the agents and going through that whole process, and what made you still rock with your agent that you're still with right now to this day. And just tell our listeners and viewers and people a little bit about that process, and how was that for you as far as coming out of an HBCU, being recruited by different agents and stuff like that. And also, what made you say, okay, this was the gentleman for me, this is who I want to rock with, or whatever the case may be. Because sometimes, like we're talking about money, right? So agents will throw a bag, or agents will throw, hey, I could do this for you and I could do that for you or whatever. But seeing you up close and personal, and seeing your relationship with your agent and how close you guys are, and still to this day, where you're not playing, and he's still a big influence in your life and a big part of your life. Talk to our listeners and viewers and tell them a little bit about that process and how your relationship has grown over the years.
Yeah, so I mean, Adisa Bakari, man, he's from DC, grew up on Kennedy Street, and my like my experience, like again, like nobody in my family had gone through this experience. I really didn't have Ron Bartell that got drafted the year prior, but we really didn't have any major conversations on the agent process, right? So when the first time I see a number pop up and I answer the phone and say, this is agent so and so, I'm like, all right. So again, it's a courtship, right? The agents call you, hey, I want to take you out to eat. You know, I can do this for you, I can do that for you, whatever the case may be. So again, it's a courtship. And coming from an HBCU and you know, won't nobody really throwing a bag at me. So for me, it was like, all right, well, I'm gonna see who I can rock with. But with Adisa, when Adisa reached out to me, and he came down, he drove down to Virginia and sat in the living room, I could just tell, like, you know, just off his conversation, what he was saying. He wasn't promised me anything, right? He was like, I like him as a player, and I want to rock with him. I just, you know, what I seen on the field, I just want to rock with him. And he told me, like, look, I'm not gonna sit here and say you're gonna get drafted. But even if you go undrafted, I'm gonna rock with you and I'm gonna work for you like you went first round. So a lot of times, you know, agents can sit there and blow smoke up your ass or whatever and just try to tell you what you want to hear. And he didn't do that. And when he left, me, moms and pops, I feel like, you know, obviously I'm gonna lean on them. It was like, man, we really like him. You know what I mean? Right. He was real. Actually sat in the crib for hours and just, you know, started talking about family stuff, right? So just off the jump, it wasn't just about football, it was just about family. And as you fast forward today, he represented me my entire 14-year career. And again, like now he's more than an agent, man. He's a mentor. I'm waiting to get my results back from my agent test now. And when I pass, I'm gonna work for his company. We've invested together. We've gone on trips together. You know, two of his daughters are actresses. So, you know, I've gone to plays. So now it's just, it's family now. You know what I mean? We went from a working relationship to like a uncle, big uncle. Now, like, it's like, you know, big bro, another big brother. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just a total different landscape. And as I get into the game, it's somebody I can lean on to. And I got to tell cats, now for me, like I wanted somebody to represent me that looked like me, right? To be able to talk like me. I just didn't want a working relationship. Oh, we can get your agent done, then now talk to him. Like, nah, like we getting money together, let's talk together. Let's, you know what I'm saying? What's bothering you? What's bothering, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so let's break bread. Yeah.
Everything, you know what I mean? Yep. So again, man, shout out to Adisa, man. I appreciate him for everything.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I'm gonna fast forward you a little bit. So you got your agent. Obviously, combine, East West, whatever with that, right?
No East West. It was Magnolia Gridiron Classic.
Okay, talk to me.
That shit ain't even. That was 1 year and done. one year and done. Jackson, Mississippi.
Oh man,
exactly. Jackson, Mississippi. It was a D1A versus D1AA. It was on Christmas Eve.
Damn.
Oh, yeah. Christmas Eve. The game was so crazy. At halftime, boys are taking off so they can get their flights home so they can be home for Christmas. But but on the grind though, I'm like, yo, I got to get in front of these scouts. You know what I'm saying? Whatever we got to do. But
one way or the other. Right.
Yeah, one way or another. But yeah, Magnolia Gridiron Classic.
Salute, man. I wasn't expecting that. So now you're on the Colts, right?
Yep.
So I'm really gonna salute you, man. I joined the Army in 2006. I was in Iraq in 2007. I wasn't getting up for any old body. I got up and I watched damn near all the Colts games because of you and Bob Sanders. And I ain't saying that because you're on the show. Y'all team was loaded. Yeah. I was kind of mad y'all ain't go all the way with it. But take me through that team, man. Bob Sanders, the wife, Freeney, Peyton Manning. Man, what was it like?
Man, that was as a football player, like that was, I don't want to sound true, but like that's what you wanted, right? As a youngster going in the locker room with all of these vets, right? So You got Peyton Manning, you got Marvin Harrison, you got Reggie Wayne, you got Dallas Clark, you got Brandon Stokely, like arguably the best at their positions. You had Tarek Glenn, you had Jeff Saturday on that offensive side. So arguably everybody I just named, you could say, yo, he was top 2 or 3 in his position. On the defensive side of the ball, you know, you had Dwight Freeney, Rob Mathis was still coming on, and Bob Sanders, right? And you had Mike Doss. Mike Doss was a dog at Ohio State, you know what I mean, playing safety. So for me as a youngster, and just watching them on Sundays when I was in college, I'm like, damn, like this is a blessing, right? You know, you got Coach Dungy. And when I walked in, again, it was the number 6 safety on the depth chart out of 7. So, you know, it was just grind mode for me, but just being there and just watching them dudes prepare like that, I think that's what really helped me, like my 14-year career, just as a young buck, just going in that building, man, seeing those names, seeing how them dudes approach their work each and every day. Man, it was special. And then for me to win the Super Bowl my rookie year and start every game of the season, it was I still be pinching myself sometimes just thinking about, you know what I'm saying, like just how that whole situation went.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Antoine, you played with Terrence Wilkins, right?
Yep, T. Wilk. Yep.
Okay, that's what's up.
Shout out T. What up, T?
T. Wilk. Yeah.
Go ahead, Cole. You got some?
Yeah. Can you explain to the viewers and listeners what was the difference between how in the college locker room how you was embraced as a freshman to how the NFL locker room embraced you as a rookie in the NFL?
So I would say I think my rookie experience in the NFL is a little different. Just the way they went about their business, right? Obviously, as a freshman, you gotta, you know, get crazy haircut or whatever the case may be. But I would say after your first month, so you just one of the guys. You know what I'm saying? You one of the guys. But in the pro locker room, you know, you got your duties as a rookie, right? Coach Dungy wasn't big on hazing, right? So it wasn't a bunch of hazing. But you know, training camp, you got to get up, you got to sing your song. And everybody had to do that. Do it throughout the year. You know, rookies, however you do it, you got to make sure you got the food on the plane. You got to make sure, you know, if you got snacks in the meeting room, make sure the snacks are stacked up in the meeting room. So it's little things as rookies that you have to do. And then, you know, obviously you got your rookie night. I'm pretty sure everybody heard of the infamous rookie nights where, you know, you get the rookies together, you take the OGs out, the old heads out, and y'all have a good time. And whatever that bill is, the bill is. But I think one thing about the Colts, they was like, look, man, yeah, you're a rookie, but you coming in to help us win games. You know what I'm saying? To achieve the ultimate goal. So, like, you know, the hazing is part of it. So, I mean, I wasn't mad. They weren't big on it. So, you know what I'm saying? But it's just, you know, one of them things.
That's what's up. Hey, so Antoine, who was your vet that you leaned on the most?
Sure, another DC guy, man. Cato June.
Shout out to Cato.
Yep, Cato June was one. Rob Mathis was really big just because, you know, he came from an HBCU as well. So he understood, you know, what I was kind of going through. I would think those two guys initially were the two biggest dudes that I leaned on.
That's what's up. And let me ask you this. What was your to the viewers and listeners out there, what was your come to Jesus moment? You know what I'm saying? Like was it a wide receiver, you know what I'm saying? Or was it a running back or what have you that you like, whoa, you know what? This is real. This is some real shit right here.
I had a couple. I mean, my first regular season game, we played the Giants. It was the Manning Bowl. I think it was a Sunday night game. That's when, you know, they had Eli, they had Tiki Barber and Brandon Jacobs in the backfield. They had Jeremy Shockey at tight end. They had Plaxico Burris at receiver. So it was my first start. And, you know, typically, you know, I would get butterflies before every game, but, you know, that first hit, butterflies go. That was the first game I had butterflies that whole entire game. It was just something different. Like I couldn't shake them shits. And just seeing Brandon Jacobs, 6'7", 265 pounds, going through that hole. I'm 5'10", 195, 198. Like, damn, this is on different. You know what I'm saying? Priest Holmes. When he was with the Chiefs at the time.
KC, yeah, dog.
He hit me with one of the realest stiff arms I ever had in my life. Jericho Cotry stiffed on me from the 4-yard line into the end zone. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was just like one of them things like, yo, it's each and every week you playing against some grown men, man. So definitely one of them come to Jesus moments every other week.
That's what's up.
Yeah. And you played with some awesome safeties in your career. Who did you enjoy playing back there with the most? I know it was Eric Reed, LeRon Landry, Tom Zibikowski, Bob Sanders, Melvin Bullitt. Like who did you enjoy the most playing back there with?
Man, I think all of the guys was fun, man, enjoyable. I think like Bob was obviously. I mean, Bob, take the injuries out of his game. He's a Hall of Famer, right? Just the way he played the game, and just think about like when I was my senior year in college, like I'm looking at Bob. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at Bob. I'm looking at Troy. I'm looking at Ed. Like them the three safeties I'm looking at, right? So now I'm like, shit, I got a bird's eye view of BO. You know what I'm saying? How he playing the game, how he's approaching the game. So that was fun, man. Obviously, we winning. He flying around, I'm flying around. I'll put that down. Like, we put any duo up. Sure, I feel like me and Bob can rock on anybody. You know what I mean? Obviously Melvin Bullitt. When he came in, that was my guy. Again, another story like undrafted safety out of Texas A&M, and to this day, we still be rocking LeRon. LeBron's LeBron, you know what I'm saying? Flying around, you know what I mean? Eric Reed, I think Eric Reed was like before his very, very mature, right? Very, very mature, very smart. And a big safety that could run, that was rangy. So again, man, like all the guys that I was able to line up with, especially in the safety position, I enjoyed playing with.
That's what's up.
So throughout your career, you had some pretty big matchups against some really good quarterbacks in their prime. Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady. What was it like preparing for Tom Brady and Ben Roethlisberger?
Good question.
Different, right? It was different preparation where you knew that both of the games was going to be tough, but you just knew with Tom, man, like you had to be on your A game, right? Like it was you couldn't make too many mistakes because he was going to find those mistakes, right? So it was just one of them weeks where the coach is uptight, you know what I mean? Like everything got to be perfect. But that brought the best out of you as a competitor, knowing that you're going up against one of the best, you know what I mean? So again, just mentally, you knew Tom Brady was going to be sharp. He wasn't going to beat you with his legs, but again, he knew what defense you was going to be in. So it was just one of them chess games. All right, we got to show him something different. We got to disguise, right? Like we got to throw the timing off some way or another. So just going up against Tom, man, that just brought the best out of you. And crazy enough, like I will have like some of my best games against New England, right? And then you look at Big Ben, like it's kind of a different beast, right? Where when he had and AB, Antonio Brown and all that, but it was like you can't let them boys throw that ball over your head, because it was one of them things where Big Ben running around, not running the gain yards, but to create time. You know what I mean? So it's just even Phillip Rivers. Like I think a lot of people don't realize like the teams Phillip Rivers had, right? I be telling people, I'm like, just imagine this backfield, right? You had LaDainian Tomlinson, Darren Sproles, Michael Turner, and Lorenzo Neal at fullback, right? And then you got Antonio Gates. Like, so I'm like, Phillip Rivers has some weapons, right? And then you talk about Drew Brees too. So like I feel like our era of quarterbacks, man, Aaron Rodgers was coming on. Like we had a lot of quarterbacks, man, that you really had to prepare for.
Piggybacking off what Mo just asked you in terms of playing against Tom Brady and Ben Roethlisberger, I want to know what it's like playing with Hall of Famer Peyton Manning. You know what I'm saying?
So he makes everybody step your game up, right? So as y'all know, I'm playing sports. When your best player is one of your hardest workers, like it just makes it makes it easy as a coach because nobody else on your team has any excuses of why they're not working hard, right? So in every meeting, taking notes, out there to practice on the practice field. Nah, coach, I don't think that's right. I think we should do it this way, right? Receivers, you need to be 12 yards and come back to the ball. You stopping at 10 yards, he on you. You know what I mean? So like on Fridays, it's perfect Fridays. Nobody should be jumping off sides. Nobody should miss an assignment. No drop balls, right? So it wasn't a surprise why the offense will go out there on Sunday and be clicking. You know what I mean? So again, when you're seeing a future Hall of Famer at work, and he's in meeting asking questions, and because I know I call myself as a young boy, like it's middle of the year, I know the defense, or Coach Dungy having a team meeting, and I'm just sitting there just listening. But you looking at the old heads, and every meeting, they pull out a notebook and they got a pen and they write something down. So it's like, okay, well, shit. Even if I don't know what I need to be writing down, let me pull out a notebook and a pen, act like I'm doing something. But as you learn, it's like, you can catch some gems each and every meeting, each and every time. So just watching them do that, man, it's not surprised like how good he was and how successful he was.
What was your pregame routine like?
The only thing I had really was to make sure I talked to Mom Dukes every game, right? That was really the only thing. When I would like to get in at a certain time. Obviously throw my headphones on. I was a cold tub, hot tub type of guy. I had really my playlist. DMX, the Locks, J. That was kind of my thing every time. But really had to holler at Mom Dukes before every game.
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm. And AB, I'm gonna break the flow a little bit so I can ask this question by one of our listeners. Yeah. So they want to know is there a backstory of how you met O-Dog?
Is there a backstory? It's not really a backstory, right? So when shout out to Papa Lou. Papa Lou was
what up, Papa Lou? What up, Foots?
Yeah, Papa Lou was our equipment manager at Howard, and Papa Lou been in that joint for years. And after I think I met going into my sophomore year. He was in the CFL, and he would come back and come up to Howard and holler at coach or not coach, but Papa Lou every now and then. And Papa Lou was like, like that young boy right there might be the next one. And I don't know how we hit it off or whatever, but we started working out on the field. You know what I'm saying? And all summer, I'll be out there on the field. You know what I'm saying? If I'm up there dolo, it'll be me, my man Foots. We'll be up there on the field. We'll be working out. We'll be running, we'll be lifting weights, backpedaling, whatever the case may be. And every time he was off before he went back up to Canada, he would come out there with us. And that's kind of how the relationship started. And then from there, it was like, yo, we about to come by the towers and we're gonna pick y'all up. We going to the Love, or we going to Dream, or we going to K Street. So then it was it was him and Pumi. It was him and Big Pumi. And, at this time I'm 18, 19, and I'm just seeing how they moving. They showing me love. I'm like, damn, all right. You know what I mean? And then he'll be like, yo, we got to get up in the morning. We got to go train. You know what I mean? And that's just how we've been rocking ever since.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
Hey, I got one quick question before we transition or whatever the case may be. You talked a little bit about, some of the guys that you was playing with, like the Bob Sanders people that, was that you sort of was watching on Sundays before you played. Talk a little bit about one of the top safeties that's in the league that really don't get a lot of. I feel like he don't get a lot of just due because he's been on a sorry team. But Buda Baker, you know, I've been able to see how, you know, you sort of mentor him and him being, because I feel like if he played, first of all, he played in a different time zone on the East Coast, I think it would be crazy. And I think if he played on a winning team, I think he would be talked about a little bit. Not that he doesn't get, you know, respect, but I feel like he would have those more primetime games where people can really see what he's doing. But talk a little bit about that mentorship and how, you know, how the roles was sort of reversed. Now you got somebody looking up to you that used to watch you that fit your prototype, because you were one of the safeties that make the 5'11", 195, 5'11", 205. You sort of helped change that. You, Bob, you know, Eric Berry and so forth and so forth, and other some other safeties helped change that, you know, that, you know, stereotype and that prototype or whatever. So just talk a little bit, before we transition, talk a little bit about that for.
Nah, Buda, man, hell of a player. So when we dropped him at AZ, coach was like, man, we got a young dynamic player that's coming in. He plays safety, but it's crazy. His first year, our secondary was so crazy. Like, he played special teams and I think he made Pro Bowl special teams his rookie year, right? Yep. So, because that safety, we ran a lot of nickel, but it was myself, Tavon Branch, and Honey Badger. So he really couldn't get on the field, but when our safeties went down, like, he came in and instantly just made plays. Again, a smaller style safety, but he played bigger. He plays bigger than what he is. Yeah. He can cover. Coming at you 100 miles an hour, he can hit. He's a great tackler. Just a good dude, man. So again, you know, when we used to be in the meeting rooms, you know, we would put the onus on him sometimes. Like, yo, you playing nickel. That's one of the most important, maybe the most important position on the defense. Like, you got to open your mouth. You got to be vocal. Just being on them. You know what I'm saying? And just be like, at some point, you're gonna be the leader of the defense, right? So get used to it now, man. So again, man, just showing them how to be pros. I think that was the one thing for me as I got, you know, as a vet, just showing the guys when they come in how to be a pro. Because you had a lot of assholes that would come into the locker room, into the building, and you won't see them for long. So, like, just come in, be a pro. You know, you don't gotta like everybody. You don't gotta kiss ass, but just be a pro. And he's been doing that.
Yeah. And AB, speaking of mentorship, we had another dog, the new dog at Howard U, on our show recently. Mr.
KG, what up? I know you listen.
Shout out to you, KG.
Boy, you had a good game, boy.
So, can you tell our listeners and viewers what's your relationship like with KG, and do you see a lot of yourself in KG?
Yeah, man. First off, KG from the 7'5", you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we gonna breed them players, but I do, man. I do see a lot of myself in KG. For one, just the way he flies around the field. You know, I just think about my Howard days, and you know, it was what it was, man. So just the way he flies around the field, but when you talk to him off the field, you know what I'm saying? He's just a good, solid young brother. You know what I mean? And I respect that. Shout out to his mom and his dad. But a true leader, and he works hard. He works hard. He works his butt off, and everything that he's gotten and he's going to get, man, he deserves it. So right now, relationship is, you know, like old dog was to me. You know what I mean? Like they played Rutgers. He had a good game. But I'm not calling him for what he did good. I'm trying to tell him some things that he can improve. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I saw you in Chicago. Yo, you could have drove your feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like you could have done this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not hating, but yo, this you, and I'm just letting them know, because when them scouts come into the building, they're gonna try to
100%.
Tear him apart, you know what I mean? They're gonna try to pick everything he does apart. So I'm just trying to give him that game. But
100%.
Again, like you said, like MEAC Defensive Player of the Year, Aeneas Williams Award, like all the accolades, man. And he hasn't changed a bit since I met him, man. So
that's what's up.
Salute to KG, man. He's
Yeah,
the next one. He the next one.
Yes, sir. Salute.
Yes, sir. Shout out KG.
Go ahead, Cole.
Go ahead, Money Mo.
Man, that's so when you started at Howard, I bet you maybe you knew, maybe you didn't know, but being inducted into the Howard Hall of Fame, how does that make you feel?
I mean, any Hall of Fame, like anybody, anytime anybody asks me that, like any Hall of Fame that, you know, you get a recognition of, like, I don't care if it's Little League Hall of Fame, High School Hall of Fame, man, like, that's a blessing, man, because there's been a lot of people before me that should be there. That's not, you know what I'm saying? Old dog is you know, was a dog at Howard, you know what I mean? So to be able to be recognized, man, it's definitely a blessing, man. It's something I don't take lightly.
Mm-hmm. Speaking, let me ask you something about that, because I was at a family reunion a few weekends back, and we had a debate.
Yeah.
Now, some people are fortunate enough to win a championship and get that jacket. But if you had to choose, which one would you choose? A championship or a Hall of Fame career?
Yeah, that's tough.
You got to Kobe.
I'm gonna tell you what I said. I said that jacket. Fuck that chip. That's what I said.
Yeah, I mean,
I want that chip.
It's tough, right? Because that jacket is like you one of them ones, right? Like nobody, like you one of them ones, like. But then that chip though, like that's like that's what you play the game for. Like you play the game to be able to hoist that trophy up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you play the game. That's a tough one. But to be able to put that yellow jacket on, though, I ain't gonna front. Like that's something that, you know, you got your bust in there. Like that's something that will never, ever, 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 ever go away.
Explain that feeling in terms of winning that Super Bowl with the Indianapolis Colts against the Chicago Bears, man.
Man, that's like top 5 moment, man. Like my kids being born.
Yeah.
Super Bowl, and I'll be joking with the wife. And I'm like, you know, the wedding might be behind the Super Bowl, like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, shit.
Shout out to
all jokes aside.
What up, little sis? What up?
All jokes aside, though, like that was a special moment, man. Because again, like I said, like that's what you put all the work in for.
Yes.
You know, that's the hard work, the tears, the sacrifices. You know what I mean? And then, you know, for me, it was like, you know, I really wasn't on a bunch of successful football teams, like except for Pee Wee. High school, you know, we had talent, but we didn't win much. Didn't win much at Howard. So for my first year to go and win that bowl and then actually play significant time, you know, that was it. You know what I mean? And then, you know, you hear about the Super Bowl run afterwards where, you know, you're going to every city, you partying. It's one of them things like you always call yourself a Super Bowl champ. And it's a lot of guys that play the game. It's a lot of greats that play the game. It's a lot of Hall of Famers that played this game that they can't say they a Super Bowl champ. You know what I mean? So that was special, man. I got stories for days on that Super Bowl run.
Well, go ahead,
man.
I mean, this is No Cap Sports Show.
So
I mean,
I'm just
we got time.
Just thinking of, we started that season 9-0. We started that season 9-0. Game 10, we lost to the Cowboys. But Coach Dungy always say we lost. So Cato June and Reggie Wayne birthday fall around like a couple of days apart, and they had a party that Friday before going to Dallas, and brought everybody out. I'm talking about the whole Indianapolis. I'm talking about Peyton was there, Marvin was there. You know what I'm saying? We had execs there, like everybody was there. And that Saturday morning, you talking about a quiet building, talking about the meet rooms was quiet, that plane ride was quiet, everybody was asleep. You know what I'm saying? So we ended up losing that game, but we went on a magnificent run, man. And I would say that next week, it was an all-star game in Vegas.
Oh.
So
I met you at the end. I met you at
Bellagio.
Bellagio.
At the Bellagio. So that was my first time ever in Vegas, coming off a Super Bowl win. You can only imagine what that was like.
Yeah.
And then it was like, after that, it was everybody was trying to one up each other in their cities. So we invited everybody, myself and Kato, we invited everybody out. I think at that time, what was it? It was Dream.
Dream, yeah, it was Dream back then when y'all
So
had
we
that
invited
Dream,
everybody out to Dream.
Yeah.
And it was just a weekend, because at that time, you know, it was Dream. It was, I think at that time, it was K Street Lounge that we did. I think we did
H2O. H2O.
Street Lounge.
H2O.
And you know, the city was like, this was 07.
Yeah.
So like the city was a little different. So they was like, damn, like DC like that, right? But then after that, we went to Atlanta. And my man Rob Mathis in Atlanta. So he was like, man, I gotta one up y'all. So he had a police escort to the compound. So it was just like every other week, it was something. Like, I think that year we went to Puerto Rico for Memorial Day. So that whole little run right there, man, it was just memories being created with your guys, man. But it was a good time.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man.
Yeah,
That's great. That's crazy.
So AB, you obviously played for 4 teams in the NFL: Indianapolis, San Francisco, Arizona, and New York.
Yeah.
Can you kind of compare or contrast the 4 organizations? Like what was
definitely
between the 4? Yeah,
most definitely. All good organizations, right? I just think I hit Indy at the right time. I hit Indy with the right time. Ownership, Mr. Irsay, great. Bill Polian, great. Coach Dungy, Coach Caldwell, great guys, great team. The city loved sports. We were winning. So, and then it was a veteran team, right? So that right there, from the top down, everybody wanted to win. I go to San Fran. I had 3 coaches in 3 years. You know what I mean? So at that time, it was just, again, great players. I went there right after they went to the NFC championship. I'm like, shit, I know I'm about to make another run. But again, it was just the timing, right? 3 coaches, 3 years, trying to find that continuity again. And then I go to AZ. AZ, first year, we had a solid team. Carson Palmer gets hurt. You know, defense, we were top 5 defense in the league, but it was just some things falling short. That second year in AZ, Steve Wilkes, head coach, did him dirty. But you know, it was just one of them years. And then I go to New York, and it wasn't right. New York the Giants is a great organization, you know, legendary organization, but just seeing it, I just knew like it was some things that just wasn't right, man. And that was the first time, man, where I used to get up in the morning. I was like, man, I ain't trying to do this shit no more. And that was kind of one of them things where I was like, man, it might be a wrap for the kid.
wow.
But I know with you being in New York though, and we talking about being a veteran, whatever the case may be. I know it got to be like dope to see the young boy Peppers get that nice deal he got. We're going to New England, and that being one of your youngest from the East Coast, from Jersey, and him being one of your little youngest because when y'all played in Giants. Tell our listeners and viewers a little bit about that. You know, could you share a little insight on that when you was rocking with the little young?
Yeah, man, because you know, I mean, Pep. You know, I used to be joking with him when we was in there, you know, because everybody talk about, you know, he was coming home. You know, he's from East Orange, New Jersey.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know, everybody say how shit, like when he played on Friday nights, how it was everything. So I was just like, man, they don't play no ball up there for real. So I used to always joke with him. And then obviously him going to Michigan doing his thing. But you could just tell Pep, like, he had it. He's just a football player. We both signed there the same year. He came from Cleveland, didn't work out in Cleveland. It didn't work out for him in New York as maybe he would have thought, but to see him in New England and doing what he did last year, I hit him every now and then, like, bro, like this New England, that's your spot, like, you know what I'm saying? They're able to showcase what you are as a player. You know what I mean?
Yes,
if he get his bag, shit, I was happy for him, man. Just finding that spot, because a lot of times people try to throw you to the side and be like, man, he was this at this point in time and he's not that anymore. But people fail to realize, like, situational, and it's great to talk about that. Like, so every situation is different. So every situation might not add up the same way. And he just found a really good situation for him in New England.
Nice.
Hey B, so you get to the point where you decide, all right, I had enough. I had an awesome 14-year NFL career. It's time for me to hang up the cleats. Did you have a moment where you had to like chill and try to figure things out in terms of life after football, or did you already have a plan in motion and hit the ground running?
Shit, the world did that for me. Shit, when I retired in 2020, COVID hit. So it made me sit down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I actually think that was like a blessing in disguise, right? Because I think a lot of times when guys retire, and you might know what you want to do, but shit, like I retired at 35. So like I've been playing football for 27 years of my life. So for that to be gone, even though I could be telling myself like, okay, it's time, it's shit still different. Something that I've been doing, that's something that's been in my life for 27 years. But COVID, sat everybody down. So I think it was kind of a blessing in disguise where, a lot of people wasn't moving. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. So that kind of gave me some time to kind of figure out what that was. I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. At the time, I had businesses going anyway. So I was tapped into that. I had my foundation. So, I'm still tapped into the foundation. So for me, it was just kind of one of them things like, okay, well, what are you going to really put all of your time and effort into? And I'm just really kind of noticing, like, my philanthropy. I don't know what O said earlier, but my philanthropy is something I'm always going to be excited about, or something I'm going to do. And working, working in another capacity on the other side as an agent, man. So those are the things that I know that's going to keep me busy from here on out, outside of my little ones.
You know what, bro? O sent me something the other day, man, and I was so quite impressed, man. I wanted to ask you about it, man.
Go ahead, get him, Fredo, because I was about to bring it up too, but I didn't know if you wanted to bring it up now. Go ahead, get him, Fredo.
You know how we do, bro, for real.
Hey, you already know.
I respect players that that give back to their community, man. And also the other day, man, in terms, I think you built a community center back in your hometown. Yeah, man. I want you to explain that. Talk about philanthropy. That's the proper word, isn't it?
That's the word. That's how y'all say philanthropy.
Say it, one more time.
Look here, on the No Cap Sports Show podcast, y'all not gonna tell me how to talk. I said philanthropy. That's what it is.
Nah, man.
I want you to explain to the viewers and listeners in terms of like I said, giving back to the community and building a community center. Just giving back. I know you like you have homeless people that come there and stuff like that. I know you have stuff that's stored, whether it's food, clothing, etc., other resources, etc.
Right.
Explain that, man. And what made you get into that?
Yeah. So again, like I started my foundation in 2010. So we're going on 15 years. And obviously it was always in my hometown. But then whenever I was playing, we would do different things. We would do, Thanksgiving, Christmas giveaways, and just different things. Go to homeless shelters. So when I got done playing, I just had a real good relationship with some city officials. And I was doing a lot of stuff back home, and just having to sit down. They ask me like, your end goal with your foundation, like in a perfect world, what would it be? And I was like, man, if I really could have a building where I could run if I could run different programmers in there, like that would be ideal. And at the time, the city manager, she was like, "Well, you're familiar with the city. If you find some buildings that you come across, we own a lot of real estate. Maybe we could work something out." And it's crazy again with relationships. Like I was working on a real estate deal that I didn't end up doing, but I tapped in with two older white guys, and they used to always frequent this restaurant, sit in the back of the restaurant, and they were like, "We'll help you with the real estate deal," but just quiet as kept, he had looked me up. So we sit down one time and he was like, "Man, like I see you do a lot of philanthropy work." He asked me the same question and I gave him the same answer. So he was like, "You ain't hear this from me," and he was on the board of the Boys and Girls Club. Like he'd been on the board for like 30 years. He was like, "You ain't hear this from me, but we trying to sell the Boys and Girls Club on Thorncliffe. This is the Boys and Girls Club me and the guys used to go to when we was in high school to ball and do, and just chill." So I hit my peoples up and they was like, "Yeah, like we heard it." So, the city ended up purchasing the Boys and Girls Club. And, we are there in partnership with the Bethea Family Foundation. And I was just thinking, I grew up in a youth center. When my dad was in the military on base, that's where we went. Like we played basketball there. That's where the baseball, the football, the basketball, the skating ring, just the pool, the air hockey. Like that was life. You know what I'm saying? Everybody walked to the youth center. That was, we had the dances there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so everything was there. So I'm just envisioning like now, like you think about it, it's like you don't really see too many youth centers no more. Like,
no, you don't.
The kids don't have nowhere to go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, well, damn, all right, well, this is how I'm gonna do it. And I just started sitting down and just thinking, like, what's some things that I just think the people in the community need, right? So obviously it's the mental health. We're gonna have a mental health aspect in there. We got 2 basketball gyms in there. We got a swimming pool in there. We gonna build out esports sector in there. So again, the thing is like, meet the people halfway. Like we don't have to reinvent the wheel. Meet the people halfway. The kids, they already playing video games, so let's teach them how to make the video games. Let's teach them how they can code and they can build. You know what I'm saying? There's just so much they could do. Right. We partnering with some hospitals. They're gonna be able to come in weekly and just give some checkups. A lot of people don't have the transportation to get to the hospital or just get those checkups. So we're gonna have that at the facility. We're gonna have a program where teaching cybersecurity, and the people that's coming in, they already have contracts. So you finish this class, you can get you a 6-figure job out of the Safe Haven Empowerment Center. Before and after school programming, shit, I know that helped my mom and dad out a lot. Being able to drop me off somewhere and then pick me up somewhere, like that's, people don't think about it, but that's huge. That's huge for parents.
That's huge. Yes, indeed.
So man, it's a lot that we gonna do. Obviously, we gonna ease into it. We're gonna have a community closet, lightly used clothes, shoes, suits, for the people to come in. Like we're not gonna give it away because I know some people feel a certain type of way giving them stuff, but sure, we gonna $2, $5. You know what I'm saying? Come in here and make sure you can go back. I paid for this. You know what I mean? I worked my hard-earned money and got me this or whatever. So we on schedule to open mid-October. Definitely send y'all an invite, man, for the ribbon cut, man. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be love. The city gonna come out. So I'm excited for this one, man. I don't get excited for too many things, man, but this is gonna be something that hopefully, fingers crossed, it's gonna be in the community for a long time coming.
As you should, man. As you should.
That's awesome.
I appreciate that.
That's dope.
Absolutely. Look here, we about to transition. We about to transition to NFL Week 1 bowl predictions and what have you. And being as though you are our special guest or what have you, we wanted to start off with you first in terms of, hey, give us or the viewers and listeners, hey, your Week 1 NFL bowl prediction or predictions.
Week 1 teams I think is gonna be in the Super Bowl.
Whatever.
It could be upset, whatever. Like Baltimore gonna lose tomorrow night, which ain't a bold prediction. We know they some shit. but like just stuff like that.
Well,
Anything like that.
I would say Kansas City, they gonna be back in the bowl this year.
Okay.
Right.
Kansas City's gonna be back in the bowl this year. Out of the AFC.
That ain't happening.
Yeah, all right.
You know what?
What?
And then I would say,
That's bold.
nah, sure. I got KC winning it all again this year.
I ain't mad at it, bro.
That's bold. That's bold. Can I go next?
That's bold.
Can I go next?
Absolutely. Yes, you can, fam.
Bold prediction. Jamar said he ain't coming back until y'all give me some money. That's a bold prediction. Then hey, look, the way he handling the Cincinnati Bengals, now that's a bold prediction right there, bro. He said, I'm holding in, and now if I ain't getting my money, I'm not showing up. He said, I ain't going past the gun line, boss. And that's a bold prediction. That's gonna be a hell of a standoff with him and Mike Brown. Yeah, listen. I ain't mad at him. Bold prediction. That's my bold prediction. Go ahead. Right. Go ahead, Cole.
I mean, it ain't no bold prediction for me. You already know how I feel about my Ravens going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Okay, bet.
Bold prediction. Marvin Harrison Jr. will lead the league in receptions.
A couple of bold predictions. Carolina will beat the Saints this week, and I got Detroit winning it all.
Yeah, all those are bold predictions.
Oh, yeah, that's bold as a motherfucker.
What? Hey, what are you drinking? Hey, let me see what type of wine you drinking, boy.
Hey, you know that nigga drink booze falls, man. Thunderbird, all that shit, that's all he drink.
Hey, that boy crazy.
I'm sipping on that.
Go ahead, Fredo. What we got next?
That was my bold prediction. But go ahead, transitioning, man. We're gonna go ahead and talk about college football week 1 recap. Which teams impressed? Which teams didn't impress? Starting off with you, Antoine.
The two teams that didn't impress me at all was my mob, Florida State, and Florida.
Oh, that's your mom too, AB?
Yeah, that's your mom. Florida State got you too.
So you gotta talk about more than 1 week.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long year. Shit, we 0-2 already.
Hey, look here, bro. Hey, what y'all not gonna do is talk about my mob like that.
Yes.
I gave y'all pregame before we started the show. Any jokes y'all had, I said y'all can talk about my mob. Look here, man. We good.
He opened it up. He opened it up.
Michael Adams rolling
with you.
Come on, little bro. Read the 3-step now. Read the 3-step.
I did. And I broke on it. I got to be real with it.
Hey, we so terrible. Hey, look, but you know what though? Some of that got to do a little bit with coaching too, because we got some great athletes. You know what I mean? And we're some of the assignments, just like little things. Like, come on, bro.
Some of it could be coaching, but do you see the quarterback play?
No, I already said the quarterback. I tried to. I ain't gonna lie. They kicked me off campus. I tried to go see him. I just got back.
And I'm not gonna talk bad about him. You know what I'm saying? But you can't win with quarterback play.
Not
like
at
that.
all.
No, you can't win. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. Yeah, you do got athletes out there, but damn, like
you gotta give him the ball.
It got to be some pride about it too. It just
he terrible.
Yeah, there's no urgency.
It's like we should have known from Clemson. If you can't if you can't have success at Clemson right after they just got rid of Trevor Lawrence, right? You still had some dogs, O-line, and then you don't have success we should have known, but that's our fault. But we're gonna get that handled. Don't worry about it. But this season, we just
what? I watched some Nebraska, and they got that true freshman quarterback.
Yeah, man.
They play Colorado this week. I think Colorado gonna have some troubles this week. But Nebraska, just watching their games, man, impressed me. And I would say the U.
Thank you. Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. That's coming from a Pro Bowler, Fredo.
But this is what I'm gonna say though.
Pro Bowler.
But this is what I'm gonna say. They impressed me, but they did it against Florida, who looked trash.
Exactly. I need to see more.
You're right.
Yeah, that's it. But they impressed me. Like you can only.
But what I said was this. I don't care who you are playing against. He made it look easy. He literally the throws that quarterback was doing Ward. Like I said, he was already nice at Washington State. People just didn't see his game.
Right.
Especially what time he playing. You gotta remember he coming on 10 o'clock on the East Coast. So y'all not seeing his games on 7 o'clock. Y'all know y'all.
No, we not.
I saw this game.
My point is how he went about his business, right? Professional, made it look easy, wasn't tripping or whatever the case may be, made big time throws when he had to, stepped up in the pocket, threw the ball early sometimes, ran when he needed to. What I'm saying is his poise.
No, absolutely.
I agree with you. But
yeah, it was Florida.
Yeah,
you're right. Well, the thing about it is Miami in the ACC, right?
Right.
So I don't really got them. I mean, who else they gonna get challenged by? They play Notre Dame this year.
No.
I'm about to say because that's worse than Florida. So depending on
you better stop playing, bro. You better stop playing with me, bro.
Bum ass.
So which teams impressed you?
Miami impressed me.
Okay.
I'm not just saying this because I think it's big for Notre Dame to go into Texas A&M, but I wasn't really impressed with Texas A&M quarterback play. I thought he was a little bit better than what he was. But I'm gonna tell you who we gonna see who the real deal is this Saturday at noon. I will be tuned in. Texas, man. Texas look good. Texas look good. And I don't know how that young boy eligible to go to the start at Texas. He eligible to go to the league this year?
Yes.
Okay. Well, my bad, Fredo. Maybe he might be number one, and then the Miami quarterback be number two.
No.
That young boy throw that ball.
No, Cam Ward from Miami is a problem, man. I like him better than
100%. But that young boy at Texas, man, he can.
But he'll fuck up a couple games or two, bro. So don't let that fool you.
Right. Well, that's why they got. But that's the thing. You got a backup like you got Manning right behind him. So
yes, you do, fam.
Yeah. So Texas gonna be all right for the What's the coach name again?
Sarkisian.
Say it one more time.
Sarkisian.
Yes, him. He got him locked in. He got him locked in. Sarkisian. Yeah, he got him locked in for sure.
What you got, Kobe? Who impressed? Who didn't impress?
I don't know why y'all be having me on here trying to mention names.
I was impressed by my mom Notre Dame. I was impressed. It looked like they improved in terms of the athletes they got all over the football field now. It look like they're a much faster team on the defensive and the offensive side of the ball. But I'm really not impressed with our quarterback right now. I know they said that the coach that. The offensive coordinator that we got from LSU supposed to be a great developer of quarterbacks, and they think he's going, be able to mold them into something. But I don't know, man. He missed a lot of easy throws. Like that game could have been blown out the water in the first half. But like Old Dog said too, Texas A&M, was it Texas A&M?
Yeah, Texas A&M.
Yeah, Texas A&M. That quarterback missed a lot of easy throws too.
Man,
like if he would have completed some of those passes, that game
totally different game. Totally different game.
It would have been a totally different game. So I'm not going to get too excited about it.
Right.
Y'all just mentioned Texas. I've always been, my favorite quarterback of all time before Lamar got there is Peyton Manning. You know what I'm saying? So to see another Manning about to come and do his thing when he got out there on the field, man, he dazzled the crowd. He did some things and he looked like he one of those ones. You know what I mean? And I know he's back playing backup role right there, but to me, He
He
wanted.
look like he been hanging around the brothers a little bit, right? Got a little swag with him,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I was like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
on
Yeah.
sideline doing his little. I said, okay, got a little swag with him.
Yeah,
Hey.
Who you got, Mo?
And one last thing. We already, I know Cam from Miami. I hate to say it. I know Pumi ain't on today. You know, we don't like to give Pumi and them Hurricanes a lot of props, but you know, hey, they got something with that boy playing quarterback for them. So they gonna be dangerous all year.
Facts. What you got, Mo?
Unimpressed. I'm gonna give you an analogy. You see it playing out. Unimpressed was Clemson, and impressed was Miami. And one constant theme between the two teams: one played the transfer portal, and one didn't. You know, many coaches, many systems get fired for doing stuff like that. Stubbornness and failure to evolve will get you fired.
Yeah.
You can't put yourself into it. You got to play the game.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Mo, because I know Dabo Sweeney said that, you know, if the college game went to this whole NIL culture, that he would remove himself as coach at Clemson. So do you think it's time for him to roll? Because
bro, it's you got to go, bro. If you're not gonna pay, you're not gonna get players. It's that simple. It's that simple. I mean, you seen the Nick Saban left it. When Nick Saban left, that should have been Dabo's indication that the game has changed. It's time to exit stage left.
Nick Saban
because you can't field a competitive team without paying these athletes.
Right.
Mhm.
You're right.
Yeah.
And I really ain't got nothing to say on it, fam, because you said everything that I want to say, especially when it came to Clemson and what have you. And obviously, I was like definitely impressed with what Miami did, man, especially what Cam Ward did well, champ. So for real.
Well, look, let's jump over. You got some rapid fire for AB Fredo?
You already know, fam. We bought
Well, let's get it.
Let's get it. Then look at AB. It's rapid fire, man. We've had a lot of people, a lot of guests that's been on with us, man, that's failed in this category. It's been rapid hour instead of rapid fire. So look at we're gonna try to get through this as fast as possible, man. And let me know when you're ready to roll, fam.
Let's rock.
All right. Best advice you would give to your younger self.
Ask more questions.
Greatest NFL player of all time.
Mine's or just in general?
Yours. Just yours.
My first pick six. My only pick six.
Greatest NFL player of all time.
You said player all time?
Yeah, greatest NFL player of all time.
Oh, player. That's tough. I'm gonna go Dion.
Okay. Greatest college football of all time. Football player of all time.
Shit, my eyes. I'm gonna go Peter Ward.
Ooh, yes, sir.
Man, boy.
Yes, sir.
One of them ones.
Yeah, boy.
I ain't mad at that, man.
That's 1995.
He couldn't fuck with Rocket Ismail, though.
Tell him, All right. Jerry Rice or Randy Moss?
Ooh. I'm gonna go black collar, Jerry Rice.
Okay. Start, bench, or cut? Sean Teller, Ed Reed, or Bob Sanders?
God damn.
Woo!
I told you to bring that heat. I'm gonna repeat it again, man.
Nah, I heard you.
Sean Teller, Ed Reed, or Bob Sanders? You are on the hot seat.
Facts. I'm gonna start Ed Reed. And I'm gonna bench Bob Sanders and Sean T.
That's a smart political move right there, man.
Yeah.
All right. This is a 757 edition right here. Start, bench, or cut? Allen Iverson, Michael Vick, or Sweet Pea Whitaker?
I'm gonna start AI. I'm a bench Vic, and I'm a cut Sweet Pea.
Mm.
All right. Hidden talent.
Say it again.
What's your hidden talent?
Shit, me reading people. I can read a motherfucker. I can read a person like a mob.
You must be a Gemini. It sounds like a Gemini, but yeah, okay. But okay. I get that. All right. Sign, feature, or drop. Chris Brown, Pusha T, Missy Elliott. This is 757 edition.
I'm signing Missy.
Tough.
I'm gonna give me a Pusha feature.
Oh shit!
I'm signing Missy for sure. Give me a Chris Brown feature, and I'm gonna drop Pusha.
Oh,
yeah, okay. All right, there you have it, man. Favorite defensive scheme?
A 3-4.
Okay. Last one. Top 5 best athletes ever to come out of the 757.
Best athletes.
Yes.
There's a lot.
Give me AI. Give me Ronald Curry.
Ooh.
Give me Percy Harvin. Give me give me we got a boy like a year older than me, Mike Johnson was tough.
Okay.
And I say Vic.
Okay. All right, man. Look here, man. Well, look here. You passed with flying colors, man. It didn't go as quick as we thought it would, but it's all good, man. It's all good.
Some tough questions.
He had to be political on a few of them things.
Yeah, he did, Jack. He did. He got presidential on it. Big time, for real.
But look, 757 on the DMV.
757, no question.
Ooh.
That was quick. And that was rapid.
He's still on business.
No
Look
question.
at that. 757 versus DC. Who you got?
757.
Okay. There it is. For real. All right.
There you go. Hey, look. AB, we appreciate you being on the show, brother. You were an awesome guest. I know our viewers and listeners had a ball listening to you and learned a lot from you. Before we get out of here, can you give us some parting words for our listeners and viewers?
Man, I gotta tell everybody, man, like on my hat, man, bet on yourself, man. If you don't bet on yourself, nobody else will. Put your best foot forward and should live life, man. We want to get one of them.
No doubt.
Salute that.
You heard it from the Hall of Famer, AB. O-Dog, get us out of here, brother.
Well, you don't want me to get out here because I'm talking about philanthropy. I'm talking about
Steve Sarkisian.
I'm talking about Steve Sarkisian. I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about little bro. But on a serious note, before I get out of here, I'm gonna tell you a quick story on this man's character. This man's when he signed his new deal with San Francisco, quick story. He was out here training with me in Arizona.
Thanks,
and he had been training, whatever the case may be, wind up the deal, was getting ready to go through. So he's at the crib, we chilling. He said, man, big bro, I think I'm getting ready to do this deal. You know, beautiful deal. We ain't gonna put the numbers out there, but it was a beautiful deal, right? You know what I mean? 20-piece nuggets, whatever the case may be. And so I'm like, what we doing or whatever the case may be. And it was around the same time that my brother had passed, right? It wasn't about him and his deal. He wasn't even tripping off that. This man sat there. He had signed a brand new deal, but my brother had passed, and this man sat up there and said, well, I'm gonna make sure you good first. and I'm gonna make sure you straight. And he sat there with me, and we didn't do nothing but watch Sports Center like we normally do, and you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But the funny part is he said, well, look here. I ain't about to sit here all day with you in the motherfucking house, and we gonna sit up here and more. He said, your brother will want you to go get fried. So we went and chilled. We drank some wine, and we had a good time that night and smoked a cigar, whatever the case may be. The reason why I'm telling our listeners and viewers this story is because of the type of character this young man has. You see what I'm saying? Football is one thing, right? You know, it's one thing to go out there and football, this, and that, but the type of character, and it's not just me, he does that for all of his family. So with that being said, I just want to say salute. I want to say I love you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I know you since you was 18 years old, young man.
Yeah.
And we sat on the bench when we was working out and training, and you said, oh man, I think you might not even say, oh man, what you doing up top? And you talk a little bit about Canada. And I said, I think the man upstairs might have something bigger for you than what I'm doing. Not that I'm ashamed of what I'm doing at all. Proud of it, right? But I said, we'll worry about that later. I said, let's continue to look forward. And I said, let's move forward, and whatever happens, then we'll shoot for the moon. Then we'll fall amongst the stars. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying, your character of what you do off the field, right? We didn't even talk about District 41 Sports Bar and how you do free lunches and stuff during the COVID thing or whatever the case may be. Shout out to Free. Once again, shout out to Free and all your family that you have, serving the community and things like that back home. So that is what I am proud of. You've been a ball player. You've been able to move around. That's nothing. You've did that with the best of the best, right? So I am going to give you your flowers right now on this platform, on our platform. Anytime you want to come on and support and show love, or whatever the case may be, if you want to get it out there, we're going to have some of the fellas there for the Safe Haven Power Center, and we're going to be there for that as well, for the ribbon cutting. But I just want to tell you, I'm proud of you. I salute you. And through it all, it's been nothing but respect and honor.
Man, I appreciate that, bro, man. I love you, man. I appreciate, you showing me the ropes, man, rocking with me, So, man, thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you, fellas, man, for y'all, having me on the show tonight.
We appreciate you, brother. Salute, man.
You
already know. With that being said, the Baltimore Ravens ain't shit. They're going to lose tomorrow. The No Cap Sports Show. Tap in, goddamn. We live. Steve Sauce and Cassie here for everybody.
Good night and God bless.
No Cap Sports Show, where sports and combos collide.